GM. I was just getting my second caffeinated drink. I really need it. Just got off a meeting and yeah, get it started. If anyone wants to come up, please do so. I mean, I don't want to just be talking to myself, but some people should be coming. I don't know where they're at. And yeah, so let's have some fun here, man. Looking forward to the weekend. I know where you guys are all located at, but the weather's been so nice. It's been so hard to want to sit in my my cave on my computer all day long, but it is what it is, man. I think there's so many awesome things going on in the space right now. So awesome. Anyways, cheers, everyone. I invited a couple of you up if you want. If you don't feel bad. It's all good. It's all good. GM, where are you located about?
Originally from New York, I'm visiting my parents on a summer vacation in Oklahoma,
Nice.
getting ready for consensus as well. So
Nice.
it's like about 6 hours away.
Yeah, so it's probably real hot down there too. It's I'm in Pittsburgh area. It's been real hot here, but
Okay.
I like the heat though, man. It's been upper 80s like the last few days. So not in the 90s like it will be in Austin, but nonetheless, it's been nice and hot. So I've been trying to get out of the house more and get used to it because I'm gonna be there for a week. So I'm looking forward to it. Last time. Hopefully it doesn't go as bad as last time. Like I had a really good time in Austin. It was 2 years ago, and
Mm.
I ended up getting COVID at the event, so it was kind of
Oh, yeah.
yeah, man. But at least it was like the fifth day. I think I was there for a week. I was supposed to be there for a week, and
I see.
yeah, I was partying a little bit too much. Like I was trying to I was trying to pretend I was really young again. You know, I was like, nah, man, I'm not as young as these young 20-year-olds. I was
Yeah,
at
yeah.
we had an Airbnb at the time. I was with we had a team called Cosmos Spaces, and it was just a bunch of us. And like what we did was we just basically did a bunch of podcasts and interviews and just talked about like tech and stuff. And it was fun. I was with those guys for a while. It just was more of a hobby though, you know, and I'm a little bit too old just for a hobby. It's like if I'm going to be doing this 12, 15 hours a day, I need to make it some sort of like monetary things because you know how it is. Everything's so inexpensive, and I want to be in this industry the rest of my life. I don't want to have to like be in the hamster wheel and then like tap into crypto as well. I just would rather just be in the crypto and figure it out along the way or whatever. So, kind of parted ways with those guys, but they're still awesome. They're doing pretty well. Last time I spoke to them at ETH Denver, and they have like validators on a bunch of different chains and networks, and I think
Oh,
that
nice.
yeah, that's good, man. Valid. I didn't never want to get into being running a validator, but I do run two, and I'm about to be on another chain, and it's kind of nice because not even just because you can potentially make some money from it, but it's more so you get to vote on behalf of other people that say that they don't vote. So I just try to have the best interest of like the community at all times, even if it's something that kind of goes against the grain with maybe that particular chain's foundation or whatever. It's like, well, I don't like what this prop is, so I'm voting this way or whatever. So anyways, what is I guess just ask you, and like, when did you get into crypto?
I've been in crypto for about, I want to say about 4 years, 4 to 5 years. I got in at the beginning of the last bull run, or toward the end of the bear run, going into the bull run last year. And then I kind of played around in the markets, made money because everybody can make money in the bull run, lost money because you're new and you're trying different things. I think everybody gets into XRP the first 6 months. And then I heard about Elron before they actually launched their decks. And I just remember even telling my wife and my family, I was like, you know what? When they launch their decks, I'm actually gonna go over there and see what their DeFi is about. And then ever since, I've been probably the last 3 years just been over at Multiverse X now, just building, managing communities and things like this. So
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
it's been a wild journey.
Yeah, dude,
Um,
totally wild, man. Like it's I always try because like my background's in accounting and finance, so I try to use a lot of the skills and mindsets and tools that I've learned in my decades of grinding and just working all the damn time. And I think in this space, there's a couple things that people should do that will help them. just be more successful and smarter, or whatever you want to call it. I'm still trying to get up, but just have like, I think having a journal would be pretty good for people. Just write down your goals. Like even for e-gold, you're like, okay, I love e-gold, but if it gets to this certain price point, like I'm going to take, 10% off the top or whatever it is. And like, then just hold yourself accountable. Like no matter what, like whenever that happens, like if you're like, I'm holding e-gold till $250 or whatever it is, and then I'm going to sell 10% of it. Just do it. Like don't worry about what the emotions are, because humans are very emotional, and I don't
Yes.
care who you are. If you're in an emotional mindset, you never make the right decisions. Rarely ever do you make the right decisions, whether it has to do with like investing, just conversating with people, or whatever your moods, and that usually helps. And then you can like just have goals, like whatever your goals are. I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be an investment. Just have like goals that you want to like shoot for and attain. And then once you do, like revisit that. Like my thing in Cosmos was that there's so many L1s that spin up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to get exposure to all of them, and play this like, and just play this game where it's like I was an ex athlete and I played baseball at a pretty high level. It was like if I got a hit 3 out of 10 times, I was like considered, and I never hit under 300 actually, even in college.
Oh, wow.
And
That's,
so everyone
that's
will go, oh,
nice.
he can hit, he mashes. And it's like, dude, you think about it. Like I go up there and I fell 7 times usually out of 100 or out of
Mm.
10. And it's like, and in any other sport that sucks. Like you can't, if you go to shoot a free throw and you miss 7 out of 10, you're garbage. You miss 7 out of 10 threes, you're pretty bad still. It's like, just like whatever, golf, if you miss the fairway 7 out of 10 times, you're awful. Like it's just like, so baseball kind of puts you in this mindset. You deal with, just it's a game of failure. You just deal with failing. And if you can't, if you're weak in between the ears, like it's just a game that you're not going to succeed at. And I try to use that same mentality with like investing. And the difference is like you don't even have to be that successful. You can be like, you can get a hit like 3 out of 100 times, and usually those three that you get will supersede those other 97 of them that you didn't work on. And I kind of use that same strategy in Cosmos. Is like every time a new L1 would like launch, I would usually get a position early, and it wouldn't be like my whole portfolio. Say it's like 1% of it or whatever. I just throw it in there and stake it, and then just basically forget about it. And it's been a winning strategy. Like there's been so many that have done so well, and I look at and explore all of crypto because like I am like a complete crypto maxi, and there's multiple reasons why. I can go into all that, but like just from like a communitarian and just people wise, like I just see the opportunity where it's given opportunities to people that if there was no such thing as crypto, they just never would have this opportunity. So it's like whatever, I'm vested into it, like emotionally, physically, like I put everything into this damn space. And there's so much innovation, and I've been like lucky and blessed to just like talk to 2 3 different teams usually daily on private calls and see what they're up to and what they're building and what they're thinking. And there's just too many brilliant minds in this space for it not to succeed, man. There's just so many. They're everywhere too. It's crazy. Like you're in this one siloed off ecosystem, and you like there's so much shit going on that maybe you don't even know about, and it's just insane, man. It's a great time.
Yeah, and I just recently I've been researching. I've been telling the community about like wormhole messaging and just different aspects, different technologies that are available to the community to be able to do a lot of different things in the space in general. And like my background is actually in consulting. It's where I go to different businesses and work on communication and kind of streamlining how they communicate with each other. And one of the things I'll just say is be accountable for what you know, for the information that you want to get out, and then what you want to accomplish. So I'm definitely with you on those goals, man. It's like don't allow anyone to hold you hostage on, oh, we're going to do this. Figure out what you want, figure out what you're trying to accomplish, and hold yourself accountable to getting that done. Don't wait, don't wait on this team to make this promise. If you want to go along with it, go along with it. But if not, don't sit there and be like, well, they said they're going to do this, so my money depends on this builder or this founder or this ecosystem. It's like, if you do that, you're going to be let down every single time, whether it's in crypto or anywhere else. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely agree with you.
it's good words of advice. Like I think too is like if you can get the position, I don't, everyone has different financial wherewithals. Like one of the things about me, I'm 38, so I've kind of built up a little bit of a nest egg and kind of can not worry necessarily about what the prices do in the short term. But, it's, which is nice because if I wasn't creating content, I honestly really wouldn't know what any prices of like stuff would be. Cause I'm just like,
Right.
I keep that out of it. It's like, it's too much. If you're like always thinking about your portfolio and looking at the USD value of stuff, you're just going to go insane. Like you're shedding years off your life for sure. Like there's no doubt in my mind. Like whenever you pass away, you probably could have lived another decade if you're every day looking at the prices. I know it's so hard not to, but it's like torture, bro. It's like, oh, one day it's up 17%, and then it's up 20 the next, and you feel like you're Albert Einstein, and then it goes down to the shitter for a while, and you're like, I'm an idiot, I'm a moron, I'm dumb. It's like, no, man, it's just I respect the people that are whether they're end up being right or not, but they just are stuck. They're just like, I am convinced this is the next big thing. This is
Right.
like why does no one else, like that's how I was when I first found out what IBC was. And like you said about XRP, that was I got in as soon as COVID happened. I'm a little bit more on the conspiratorial side of things, and I'm just like, yeah, this shit stinks to me. Like it literally stinks, and I don't believe in
Yeah.
coincidences. And like I like my job, I had to be like well aware of like the markets and what was going on and what policies were being passed, and like I don't want to get all of that, but we were kind of strong arming that in that's that region of the world about some different things, and then all of a sudden this thing just derives from there, and it just like it just sets everything back, and I'm just like, this shit stinks. The markets, I know what's going on. This is weird, and there's got to be something better. I've always been a tech enthusiast, and then that's how I got into the blockchain. But yeah, to your saying, it was like everyone's first entry point for the most part was just like going on YouTube and searching crypto, and like at the time,
Right.
all you were gonna find was Bitcoin, Cardano, XRP, Ethereum,
Right.
and that's about it. Maybe one or two other ones if you really started to look. And I started messing around with all them, and my thing instantly was like, bro, like this shit kind of sucks. Like it's all siloed off. You can't even go from one place to the other. You need like all these different wallets. You need like you have to like give your money to this central entity, have them hold it for you, wrap it to something else, and then issue it somewhere else. And they're like an escrow account, which I know all about, all escrows and stuff. And I was like, I just don't like that. Like, I don't want to be in this industry where I have to like trust someone, not technology. I'm not trusting the tech. I'm trusting someone. And that's not what I'm in here for. Because like I understand what ledgers are from my accounting perspective and all this. But anyways, long story short, it was like June-ish. And there was a guy I was following, and he was like, hey, I was like, outside the top 200, like, what's catching your eyes? And he was like, osmosis. And I was like, what the hell is that? And he was like, starting to explain it. And then I went over there and checked it out, was using it. It was the first time I enjoyed actually I think I got into like, as soon as, right after COVID, shortly. But it was the first time in like, say, 4 or 5 months of me like kind of messing around in crypto that I actually enjoyed using something in crypto. So
Right.
I went over there, started messing around, and then that's when I started spending like thousands and thousands of hours of research on like what everything is, who the team was, and what Cosmos is, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, all right, I'm sold on this. This is a way for all the blockchains that come out to be able to communicate with one another. And yeah, I did all that, and I love all blockchains. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to see all the different innovations, and like how much better crypto is from the beginning of when I got into it to what it is now as a user thing. Is it fully a done product? Absolutely not. Tech always evolves, but it's more fun. It's just a better thing. And like to it's not Elrond anymore. It's Multiverse. When I downloaded the X Portal wallet, I'm not a big mobile guy, but when I
Right.
downloaded it, I was like, yeah, this is a good wallet. It's really, really, really good, and I could see it doing something for this industry because most wallets, I'll flat out say it, they're just not good. They're shit, and and like and I know how to use it because I've spent so many hours in the space. But like, if I was someone new using some of this stuff, like just like my first experience is using like Cardano and all this, I was like, this shit kind of sucks. Like, it's no knock on them. I'm sure Cardano is better than was then. I would hope so at least. But it was just like, this is kind of shit. There's nothing to do. It makes like all I'm doing is just like buying this thing and like there's nothing to do. Like, what's the
Right.
point? And but yeah, there's just so much more to do. And if you have a good, I call the wallet like entry point one, right? Like it's like, okay, yeah, you can, and they even allow you to onboard from fiat into the eco, but like it's usually like the first experience for people is like the actual wallet experience if they're going to get off of a centralized exchange or whatever. So if your wallet's kind of not fun and there's nothing to look at or do, it's kind of like, what's going on here, And crypto's all about experiences. It's like you want to create this good experience. I mean, it worked for me, man. If like honestly, if osmosis wasn't really good, I might have lost interest in space and be like, yeah, this is not worth my time and efforts. Like I'm just gonna go back to do what I was doing before. But anyways, so tell me a little bit about Blob. I honestly really don't know too much about Blob.
It's just a token that we did. We had a fair launch. I really stick with that. It's a fair launch. Everyone that has the token bought it with their assets from swaps. And so even myself, even though I created it, all the tokens that I actually use, even for the farms and things like this, I actually purchase. And so I'm part of the buying pressure. And the ultimate goal is just to get it out there accessible to, on Solana, on base. And like I said, one of the things about wormhole messaging, by bridging it, I'm able to allow people the opportunity to get it, who have different, who has that loyalty to different blockchains like Algorand and things like this, just by using different tech, which I don't want to get into the technical aspect of it, but that's the goal. Is just having a community where people are like, you know what? I want an opportunity to be able to make money and I don't have all of this manipulation happening toward me. So it seems like every time that I'm trying to be involved in it, it's hurting me. And I know that's one of the things that I really experienced when I got into it. It's just like you think, man, if I buy enough, I can pump the price. It's like, okay, no, that's not going to happen, right? We have to depend on Bitcoin. We have to depend on ego to make some moves for a large portion of how the market is going to move. But then also you want to be able to buy some assets and kind of see, the teamwork. You kind of want to be able to see, the value consistently go up of what you're holding. And so I just wanted to make a token that actually had some properties that allowed that to happen. And being a fair launch token was like one of the biggest things. So
Yeah, awesome, man. I know I got to talk to Bobber last week. That was fun. What's up, Bobber? You still there, buddy? Well, if you're there, you can talk whenever, and it goes for anyone. It's just kind of like an open mic, man. I usually do like four, sometimes five spaces a week, and they're usually like really technical and kind of dry, and I'm just like digging into the tech because that's really what it fascinates me. I'm kind of a weird guy. I really like knowing why the tech works and how it works and why it will work and the future interoperability and all this other stuff. And I know that's not everyone's tea, but I also like to hear from the community what they have going on. I mean, I love NFTs. I have so many NFTs. It's ridiculous. I'm an idiot. It's just not
right.
financial advice. I just love NFTs. I'm just like a hoarder. I have so many of them. I'm not trying to flex on anyone or anything. It's just like, don't do that because every single dollar I spend in NFT, I just instantly think that I just threw my money away. But yeah, and then there's been all these airdrops that kind of made me feel a little bit more more smart for doing it because like I've received numerous airdrops throughout different ecosystems for whatever particular NFT. But I just love NFTs. I was like, what? I forget what day it was. I started when I first got into crypto. I was like, NFTs are stupid. They're dumb, And then I got my fix in, and then I was like, yeah, this is fun. And I have to put myself on timeouts because I'll literally stare at like JPEG sometimes way too long, and I'm like, like I got to do this task here, or I have this meeting coming up. What am I doing? But no, one of my goals was like, all right, bro, because I love all of crypto. Like I just like mess around on everything. I'll try anything. I don't care where it's at. I'll go. If someone hits me up, hey, try this out. Let me know your feedback. I'll go do it. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna get an NFT on every single blockchain that like I feel is gonna be around in the future. And I kind of did, and it was like looking back, I don't even want to know how much I blew throughout that process, but it's just fun. I think NFTs are a good time. It's a good way to like communicate with people and have people try things out, because I do know a lot of NFT collectors. They really might have their favorite place they like to hang out, or chain or whatever, but they also will
Right.
go they'll go try stuff out. And I think it's also kind of the same vibes with, I'll throw the meme coins in there too. Like people might have their preference, but I'm like convinced in the next like decade that people, for the most part, especially new people, when they get into this industry, they're not really going to care about where the chain derives at. They're just going to care about like what the app is and what the game is or whatever, and they're going to use it, and all the work in the background will be done. All the transactions or conversions of different cryptos or whatever, it's just going to be done, and it's going to be real simple, where someone can just like click a couple buttons and do whatever they want to do, and not need to know, oh, I got to bridge this over here, then I got to do this, and I got to get this wallet and download that. Like that shit's not going to exist in the future. Well, I hope it won't, because if it does, then the space will never be mass adopted by people, because people don't have time to be learning all this stuff. The only reason I honestly had time at the time is because when COVID first happened, I actually was laid off for a few months, and it was like the first time in my life since like college. Even in college, I played ball. I never had time. So it was like I actually had time to like mess around and try stuff out, and not work 9-10 hour days and come home and barely have any time to like look into this stuff. And I'm not trying to knock on people, because I'm sure most people are doing that currently, because that's what I did for my entire life until I got time to like dig into this stuff. And I'm just sold on it, man. I just think it's everything. So I think it could eat away and improve not only just like the monetary system, but like the governance systems and just all kind of different aspects of technologies. And yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's all about it.
I also think like because we're such a digital world now and it's not going anywhere, it's only going to amplify. It's almost like all these communities, if they're solid, they're like little states, little countries. And so I believe each community that's actually functioning and progressively moving forward has a chance to win whenever you just look at even the way it is offline. It's like, even if it's a small country, you can find your home, you can find a way to make money, you can find a way to grow, you can find a way to help your family out. If there are bigger opportunities or bigger communities like the Bitcoin community and you want to go test your skill set and go over there, like people come to America, fine, go do it. If you say, you know what, I like this little pond here and I want to make as much money as possible in this little pond because I have certain skill sets, you can do it there. And I believe we're really moving to where, even the Blob or Bulber, these ecosystems, they continue to grow with the mindset of providing a haven, a home type atmosphere, a city, a state type atmosphere. Man, I think everyone has a chance to win as Bitcoin continues to progress. I think the vision and the mindset is still so short term, where everyone is thinking about the quick dollar, the fast dollar. I want to be rich tomorrow. And it's like, man, you actually have the ability to get in on the USD wherever your community is at. So if you're part of a good community, imagine that currency in that community being the first initiation of the USD. Accumulate. Don't over leverage yourself. Find a place. Find where you can actually add value. And as that community goes, not only do you have a home, but you actually have a place that you're proud to talk about. And one of the things that I try to, tell the community and tell people that I interact with on a daily basis, communities that win are the communities that are able to sit at a dinner table and share about what they're doing. I'm like, once you are able to get involved and be a part of something and you feel confident talking about it, and that whole community has that same culture or mindset, I feel comfortable talking about this because I believe that even these words of me telling you about it adds value. Oh man, that community has the ability to like really skyrocket. So it's just like, me myself personally, I try not to hate on any community unless they're causing a problem, right? Unless we know like we had some, scams that come through over the past like couple of weeks, and the community went after them, found them, put up their pictures, sent out SFTs, and I'm like, you know what, I'm all for it. But if the community seems like they're trying to do well, it's almost just like another city, another state. You know,
Yeah.
strong cities make strong states make strong countries. And so, like, I'm all here for it. I believe we all have a chance to win if we find our place and just really steadily grow step by step.
Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, absolutely, man. Because like, I always say this, like, especially when it was the bear market. I know that there's probably more people that came back. I could see it by people tweeting or like people that used to be in crypto a lot during the last bull run that now they're back or whatever, which is good. Like, I'm not here to criticize people. I mean, but you see it like there's not that many people that right now in crypto, right? Like there's over 8 billion people on planet Earth, and just a small slither of those people are in crypto. They might have exposure to crypto, but like actually in it, like talking about it, waking up and tweeting about it or reading white papers or creating content or whatever, messing with stuff, trying stuff out. There's such a small amount of people, so the people that are in it building and doing whatever, and it's like you don't want to be tribalistic because you're only making it, you never know, like someone might come into this space for the very first time and have a bad experience, and then maybe they don't come back for like 2 years from now or 3 years from now, and it's like you don't want to do that. You don't want to alienate people. You want to like you know, reach out and give them the olive branch and say, hey, come check this stuff out. And be, instead of someone like myself that had to spend, thousands of hours to like really feel comfortable doing all this and start talking about it, maybe they only need to do like a tenth of that because, people like myself and others are like just helping. And that's what I've always been like that. I've been doing that even before cryptos. I just want to share stuff that I've learned. I'm not saying I'm like Albert Einstein, but I put so much time and effort into it where it makes no sense. It'd be super selfish to like just not share that with people, and help people. And, am I right about everything? No, absolutely not. Like I've been wrong. I was forced to be wrong last bull market because in Cosmos, we only had for the most part UST as their stable coin. And
Hmm.
I looked at my positions and everything, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost timed the top perfect in Cosmos. It lasted a little bit longer than other ecosystems, but there were so many red flags in the markets for me where when any industry people the teams and are just blowing money on everything and anything like parties and um Tom Brady's on like 7 commercials. Matt Damon's on like 3 or 4 crypto.com commercials like a week. It's like, all right, bro, like this is, and especially then, like there wasn't as much to do as there is now. And it was like, all right, the top is probably in. Like, I gotta like kind of chill out with some of these positions. And I was going to UST. I was such a crypto max. It's like, I'm not going to go to fiat. It makes no sense. I don't want to cash out or blah, blah, blah. And yeah, like UST is basically what was a stable coin and then it wasn't. And it went down so fast. So like all that just kind of it literally just evaporated. Like it was like you had some water out in the desert and then just like next thing you look at it's all gone because it was 110 degrees or 120 degrees. And that's kind of like how the crypto was. It just like evaporated. You're just like, what the hell just happened? Like this is awful. And and it was shit. And that it is what it is though. I diversified so much that I think I try to tell people like visualize crypto as a bunch of planets in the solar system, and there's so many meteorites out there, and some of them are going to get hit by meteorites, and maybe the whole entire planet just gets demolished, and everything on Earth just evaporates. But if you have assets like on all these different planets, like some of them are never going to get hit by an asteroid, or some might just get hit by a little one that just does a little dent. And if you if you have that mindset, it's like it kind of helps out. It's like you want to keep yourself in the video game or whatever you want to consider it as, and then you just want to last. And if you can last, and it's like a huge marathon, if you can last to the end, it's like I said, all it takes is 1 or 2 positions to get in. I mean, we've had opportunities already, like all these things that are blasting off right now. I can go through a list of the different assets that were just so beat up, like November of 23. Like if you go back to, and that's not long ago, like, or no, 22, excuse me, November of 22. It's really not that long ago. In crypto, it seems like years and years ago, but in real life, like, that's not that long ago. So if you were
Not
just
at
like,
all.
screw it, I'm convinced on like pretty much anything, I'm just going to buy more of it or whatever. And like pretty much anything is up drastically from that point. Cause that was basically like the low of lows, was like end of no, like middle of November of 22. It's just, it happens, man. Like when and I share my experiences because I've been investing in different technologies in my entire life since I was able to physically invest in, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, all of them. They've had like years where it was like down like 40, 50, 60% one year. And, it's just a part of the roller coaster, man. It's just a part of the game. And like crypto gets even exacerbated on top of that because it's such a newer asset class. And the bottom line is like we're winning. You're seeing it. If you're American, you're seeing like these presidential candidates are going to be accepting crypto. I know Trump is already doing it. It sounds like Biden
Right.
might even be doing it as well. So, for them to turn their cheek and like embrace it, yeah, maybe they just want the money. But like, anytime any politician takes money, there's always some sort of strings that are attached with it, and there's going to be no different in our industry. Like, if they take money from Web 2 or like oil tycoons, like there's always some sort of string attached. It's just the way the world works. So like if they're taking a bunch of money from crypto donations, you can probably best bet that there's going to be better, more clear, concise regulations or just a better road. Like they already banned CBDCs from the Federal Reserve to make them. So like that's good. So
Right.
there's so much positive momentum coming. It's just like I said, if you're looking at the prices in the short term, you might go in, you might take some years off your life, but I'm convinced. Like you know what I mean? Like in worst case scenario, this has always been my thesis too. I lose a lot, but I had a lot of fun, and I can go work some shitty job the rest of my life till I'm like ready to pass away or whatever, and I can live with that too. I don't want to, but I'm okay with that. So
And and especially if I tell my even my closest friends, when you get into it, treat it like education. Like this is your college education. I don't care if you have it or if you don't have it. This is education. The first year, just do research and research volatility and what that means and what to expect. I remember 3 years ago, my friend came to me and he's like, yo, just buy me some Bitcoin. Just get it for me. I don't know nothing about it. I said, I need you to do some research before I buy anything from you. Because when you experience this volatility, you experience this bear market, you coming after me. You're going to come after me and you're going to try to figure out what happened to my assets, what happened to my money. And so I'm like, if everyone takes the opportunity and say, you know what, I'm going to get into crypto. I'm going to treat this like an education process. I may lose some money, I may not. But man, I wish everyone could just go through one bull market and bear market, not over leveraged. And then that next time around, you're going to be ready to fly. Whether it goes up, the rate of return always decreases, but it's still the rate of return is still amazing. So it's almost like it's worth the education of learning that 3 to 4 years of just like, okay, what is this really about? Let me play around in different ecosystems. Let me see where I like to be at. Let me see what type of people I want to be around that I can actually synergize with. And then that next bull run, it's like, man, even this year, not financial advice, but I was like Chainlink. Chainlink was at like I don't know $3, $4. I was like I'm getting a lot of this, like because of my education from the previous bull market. I'm like a Chainlink is something I feel like for me it was like I can't miss. I know this is going to run, and sure enough, it ran. Not because I'm smart, not because I'm predicting the market, but because of the education. So yeah, man, I wish people would take out the time to say, no, just let me, and also on YouTube, don't listen to people that's promoting coins, man. That'll get,
yeah, YouTube is something else, bro. Like
that'll
I watch
wreck
YouTube.
everybody.
Yeah, I watch YouTube, but not for crypto. It's like I watch it for sports or
Right.
podcasts or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
real big into sports, so like that's kind of my like decompression time. I don't want to like make myself even more mentally insane by watching YouTube at late at night at bed or something. It's like, oh no, I'm gonna watch it for some bullshit about sports or boxing or whatever. But no, like those are all really good points, and I think the community and vibe part is like really underrated. It's for me, and when I'm out and about and go into like an event that's not crypto or dinner or whatever, anyone I meet, I find a tough time not to like circle that conversation into crypto somehow. And that's kind of
Right.
like what I always, what I end up doing. But, no, yeah, like the whole, I tell my family straight up, like, don't ask me for cause they won't listen to me. They will and they won't. And it's like, I'm not going to be held accountable. And, you know, humans are very weird. Like, they're the same people that will sit there by scratch offs and play the lottery all the time and be kind of degenerates, you know? But then
Right.
it's like they waste their money on all this dumb shit. And then, you know, you tell them when like Bitcoin's at 17K because they know what you're up to. It's like, hey, and I'm like, look, I would be buying some Bitcoin right now. Like, I think it's beat up, like, and it's a good spot. But you know, they don't listen, and then they're, you know, Bitcoin's at all time highs, and they're like, hey, should I be buying Bitcoin right now? It's just so weird how humans are. Like, they need reconfirm. It's like most humans need like confirmation before they do something, which I don't mean by the educational part of it, doing your research. It's more about like, oh, I'm missing this rocket ship. Like, everyone is in it.
Right. Right.
Let me buy it now. And it's like, okay, maybe right now, like Bitcoin's pretty much at all time highs again. It's like, I still think it's underrated, or undervalued. Maybe it's a good spot, but like, dude, where were you at when it was 17K? And you could have already cashed out if you wanted to. And then you're thinking you're, you know, brilliant. And, I think it was, yeah, that same year, November 22, because I were just talking like everything was kind of like all time lows, and Christmas time. So just basically a month later, and my family was like, "Oh, how's everything going?" Like, I know I see Bitcoin's like down real much, like a lot, and I'm like, "Oh, everything's good. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm chilling. Like, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good, you know." And but I was like, next year, I said it to them. I was like, you know, next year and the year after, when you see the opposite and Bitcoin's like blasting away and everything's blasting off, don't be hitting me up and asking me to be buying anything or what strategy you buying, because like I was like, I like I'm so convinced, like you know, I'm buying more now, like taking my pay or whatever, and I'm buying more. I don't care.
Right.
You know, call it whatever, call it a gambler, whatever you want to call it. And and like that's just my style, though, you know. Like, but you have to be like, you have to be so convinced, and you have to be almost borderline idiotic. You know, it's like whatever. It's like if you're, I don't know if anyone's been having the gambler's itch at the casino and you're down or whatever, and you're like, all right, I'm going to double down because I want to get back to even. It's not that mentality, but it's almost that mentality. You're just like, whatever, you know. And again, my thought is like, I only invest in stuff that I feel like I can afford to lose. And if I do lose it and lose everything, would it suck? Absolutely. It'd be awful. Like, I never want that to happen. But
Right.
I already have the mindset, if it does happen, that I feel like I have enough skills and things to do outside of this that I can go, like, again, work some shitty job that most humans have to do for the rest of their life. And I'm okay with that too, because I just think like life is pretty fun, you know? It's like, whatever, man. But, anyways, we got up a couple of people. I want to get them up here. Adam, you were first. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? I appreciate the opportunity to chat here. Maybe I could give you like a 1 minute pitch of what Atom 1K LFG is. So it's a token that we launched about 2 months ago on a Neutron chain. So it's I call it a marketing token. You can call it a meme token as well. But you know, our goal here is just to promote Atom. We're mega Atom bulls. You know, the catchphrase here is the higher we go, the bigger our reach. So we have a lot of interesting burns planned. So I'm going to burn 1% of the supply when Atom hits $10. A lot of interesting gamification around promoting Atom, and it's almost like a leverage play on Atom because we're going to have all these burns as Atom goes up, as this price goes up. So yeah, look out for us to keep promoting Atom, and yeah, thanks for letting me chat.
Yeah, man. Feel free to add any more like during the conversation and all that. But yeah, that's cool, man. I think meme coins and like NFTs, they kind of go in the same shoe, you know, like the shoe box or whatever you want to call it. But it's a good way to market, a good way to have fun. And at the end of the day, like we all want to have fun, man. Like, I don't care what age you are. Like, what's the point of doing anything if you're not having some fun at the same time? Like, yeah, it could suck when you're down money, or if you caught all time highs and that was the first time you entered this space and all that type of stuff. It's awful. Don't get me wrong. But you know, I want to have fun. Like I do this all the time. If it wasn't fun, like it would be kind of hard for me, especially when it was the bear market, to show up every day and do what I'm doing. Like I'm passionate. I have a lot of fun, meet a lot of cool people. In fact, like I would rather hang out and talk to people, random strangers on crypto, believe it or not, than people in real life. I feel like there's more action, there's more fun, there's better vibes, and people in real life, a lot of them are just, to me, they're lost. They're just like talking about shit. They're always negative about stuff. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't have time for this crap. Like even my family, it's like they're always, bitching about politics all the time. I'm like, I don't have time for this crap, man. Like I'm trying to like have fun and to learn. And if you're not trying to help me grow my mind or have a good time or whatever, like I'm just kind of like not into it. But anyways, what's up, Bruce?
Hey, what's up, Hoss? Bro, I can totally relate to what you're talking about when it's way easier and more suitable or more enjoyable to talk with people when you have like something in common, right? And have shared interests. And like the crypto thing, it's a black and white thing, right? Because if outside and we talk with the normies, like most of people who aren't into crypto look at it as a scam, and then we have us like that sees as an opportunity to make money and have fun and learn new stuff, and I like mostly make money. That's why we're here, right? And have fun while we make some money.
Yeah, like everyone has a different intention of what their reason is with making money. But I mean, really, I say this all the time, and it was one of the things that when I was doing like financial planning and talking to like real people about their finances, not that I give financial advice in this space, but, was like, what do you think money is? And they, something to barter, do this, do that. And then like, I'm like, yeah, that's technically right. It's not the wrong answer. But what I would always look for is like, it's a symbolization of your time, right? Like everyone has to devote X amount of time to make whatever their paycheck is. And so really you're sacrificing time on planet Earth that you'll never get back again. Like one thing it's right, at least for now, like we all pass away at some point. We can't live forever. So you devote all this time and effort and energy to like make whatever your paycheck is. And then it's yours. Like that's your time. So you can do whatever the hell. In my opinion, this is the way I might differentiate from other people. And I just think for the most part, you should be able to do whatever the hell you want to do with your time, as long as you're not like killing people and like promoting violence and trying to be a dick about that. But like other than that, like I don't care what you buy, what you do, what you put into your body, any of that stuff. It's just like, but don't tell me what I should do and this and that too. And I think crypto most people find it kind of have that vibe, call it libertarian or whatever you want to call it. But so it's just like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to vibe out. And the reason I personally want to make more money is just so I have more time and I can do whatever the hell I want to do and not be in that hamster wheel. It's not because I want to go out and buy a bunch of stupid shit. And hell, if you want to, go ahead and do it. Again, I don't care what people do. But I just want to have a nest egg where if I was like, 10 years from now and I just literally didn't want to do anything, I have that opportunity just to do nothing and not have
Bro,
anyone,
just want to wake up in the morning, tend to my fucking vegetables, man. Make sure the
Oh,
cows are
yeah.
okay, and then just sit in the sun, enjoy my garden, and then
Yeah,
do that
dude.
the next day, bro.
Exactly. Like
That's it.
I'm kind of the same way. It's like I live like in the mountains and I just like chilling, bro. Like I like showing. Don't get me wrong, I work my ass off, but I want to be able to create my own schedules and do what I want to do. Like if I want to work 15 hours on Monday, I will. The next day, if I don't want to, I won't. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's what life is supposed to be designed for. I don't think we're supposed to have to go to some shitty job and have a shitty boss and tell us what we can and can't do. And they don't respect you for who you are or what you can bring to the table. It's like, that
Absolutely.
shit sucks. Like
That
that is
sucks. But bro,
garbage.
the reason why the nature provides for every living being is so every living being has time to fucking dance, enjoy, sleep, meditate,
Yeah,
just
man.
be, right? It's
You
called a
know,
being.
one animal I always like is where I live at. There's so many of them. We have so many different birds and hawks, and we have bald eagles. And when I see them, I'm like, damn, they are so free, bro. Like I swear, they just do whatever they want, right? Like they just fly around. They can shit on you. They can do whatever they want. And it's like, dude, they're so free. It's like we should be able to be kind of that free too. Like just. And I think crypto, like all jokingly aside, I think that pretty much, especially nowadays, because everything kind of got ruined from bad policies and idiots and greed and everything else in between. But I think crypto is like sadly, it's like the only, in my opinion, it's like the last opportunity for like all of us to maybe have a chance of that freedom, you know? So like I was saying earlier, if you were here, but I think we're waiting, like, you know, sadly, America kind of controls the markets and all that, and they've been really strict and stringent and annoying and dumb about a lot of the stuff that's been going on. But they're starting to the armor's just starting to break. There's chinks in their armor, and they're starting to come around on crypto. So to me, that's a really really good sign. And yeah, man, it's just
I know what you're coming from, but like I still have PTSD from when Obama got elected because I literally thought that something was gonna change. Like I fell for that one completely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things though back then is like now I mean, Trump's even doing it, and I'm sure if he's going to be doing it, then Biden's going to be doing it too. But they're going to accept like crypto donations and be, you know, once these political figures start getting money from different sources, they kind of just have to bend to that because like, or else they're not going to get that. Like that's who's feeding them, you know. So that's kind of how things work, you know. Oh, this person's on this side, that person's on that side. Maybe they have their little quirks or whatever, but it's more about who's giving them the money to like be able to do what they want to do, and they kind of bend over for them. So, you know, hopefully that's just a sign of them going to be just bending over for crypto over the next like decade and making it more of a realistic thing where, you know, not everything's so damn negative all the time about it. And for the most part, knock on wood, there really hasn't been like these last like year and a half, 2 years, you haven't really seen as much negativity on the mainstream news. I don't really try to watch the mainstream news, but like that last cycle, it was like every couple days, I swear there was like this crazy event on TV where they're like, oh, everyone in cryptos of, you know, funding terrorism.
Don't you think that's a symptom or a effect that is caused by that more and more institutional money has entered the space?
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
absolutely.
BSI allowed central banks to hold 2% of the reserves in Bitcoin last year, I think, or the year before that. So like a negative spin would cause institutions to lose money at this point.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. We're starting to win. Like when you see like Larry Fink, and Larry Fink gets whatever he wants. He has like over $10 trillion under management with BlackRock, so he's in it. Like he's not going to allow these people to just like badmouth it, right? Like
Yeah.
there's consequences now, and like before there was no consequences. It was like you had all these idiots just saying whatever they want. Now it's like Uncle Larry gets what he wants. Like you better not, because we own 10% of this network or whatever it is. I'm just
Yeah.
throwing numbers out there, but he'll get your ass fired if you're going to go on TV and just randomly talk shit now on like Bitcoin. You know, so it's like, yeah, man, we're starting to win. You know, and as much as like I'm sure a lot of us were like, yeah, screw the big guys and screw the institutions. Like I'm like, whatever, man. Like if they're in it, like that just gives us more bang for our buck and more what do you want to call it, validation for our degeneracy slash gambling slash being a super early adventure when
The
everyone thought,
cause.
yeah, like we were all idiots for doing what we're doing. And like, you know, you could have told most people like 3 years ago to buy any crypto. They're like, what are you talking about? That's a scam. You know,
Bro, I
it's
spent
starting
the
to slow up.
past year trying to convince my parents to sell their fucking stocks and buy Bitcoin. And I started at 15K, man. 15K, I shielded so hard and they never sold. And I just sent my dad fucking screenshots of the chart every day with arrows. This time I shield you. This time I shield you. At this point in the chart, I shield you. Yeah, never worked.
You sound about like my age or even a little bit older. I'm not sure, but like, yeah, our parents' generation, they had, for the most part, they had everything handed to them. Like, I'm not trying to say they didn't work hard, but they could have bought anything. Like, they could have invested in anything, literally anything, whether it was land or homes or stocks, and everything just went
They were
up.
the early adopters of globalism and consumerism, and that
Yep.
was the only time that globalism and consumerism have benefited the consumer. It was in
Yeah.
the early adoption age.
Yeah, you could have, you know what I mean? Like everything just went up. So, and now, you know, like I don't fault any of them for being a little bit more on the conservative side because they're at that retirement age and everything else.
Hey,
But
bro, of course, and also the government worked in their favor when they were young and they had to start families and buy
yeah,
houses, and the government were fucking the good guy.
And
So
that's why
of course,
and that's why that generation, like they're kind of divided on what side of the aisle they're on or whatever, but they believe everything the mainstream media says. It's like, well, how come two different outlets that cover different political perspectives, how can they both be right about the same thing when they're saying the complete opposite? Like they're either both lying or one is clearly lying on this thing. And it's just so annoying because I feel like none of them actually use technology for actual real benefits. They just use it for like Facebook and talking shit about
no,
politics.
they get used by technology.
Oh, they get so used and abused. They're in that algorithm that they don't ever go, oh, well, let me like go look at the other perspective or see what the other side is actually saying and maybe like make my own mind up. They just are like in this loophole, like black hole of just just nonsense. And yeah, that's why honestly I hate to say it, but like my family, I'm just like, nah, I'll see you guys at Christmas and whatever. And a lot of times I have to leave that early because they're just so annoying. They don't like live in the moment. It's all about nonsense. I'm like, that's my point of this space was like, I like to have a good time, and I don't care if you're my blood or whatever. If you're just like not offering anything to me, not monetarily, but just like fun, or like a good time or a good energy. Like I just don't have time for it, man. It's like screw off. Like sad, I love you, but I don't have time for it. Like my wife and I, we're just trying to like live our life and have a good time. It's like if you're not down with that, then whatever, man. You want to be miserable and be miserable, but I'm not going to be miserable with you. I had to move away, man, because like everyone where I'm from like a rough area. Everyone's got that same like chip on their shoulder, and everyone's out to get them, and it's everyone else's fault for their shortcomings or whatever you want to call it. It's like, nah, that's not how life is. That's your own doing. You can do what you want to do. But anyways, I'm not trying to get morbid, man. Yeah, Bruce, that sounds lovely. Just like go out, attend to your garden, and just chill. Sounds like a good time. It's kind of my goal too, man. My end goal is like this does real well. I have this big piece of property in the middle of nowhere. I have like solar everywhere. I live off my land. I don't have like any bills. It's like whatever. That's cool.
That's the only way, bro. And then just do it community style, like open doors. People can come by and help with fucking tend to the land. And if you help tend to the land, you can live free and eat what you fucking pull out of the ground.
Yeah, man. It is. That's the best. Because
So simple.
you see all the crap that's in the foods, man. You know what I mean? It's like how can like one generation afterwards, me, like kids are like 6'12". Everyone's like 6 foot tall at like 12 years old. It's because they've been eating like hormones their entire life, like just nonsense in the foods, and they're sick of everything. They can't even eat fucking peanuts, and they get like sick. You know?
Peanut allergy is a weird thing, man. It didn't exist
It didn't
100 years
exist.
ago.
It didn't even exist like 40 years ago, 30 years ago. Like I'm
Yeah.
30, I'm 38. I don't know any kid that I grew up with that couldn't eat peanut butter or eat like every dessert used to have like almonds or nuts in them or whatever. It was like the common thing. Now you can't get that anywhere. You have to get it specialized. It's like kids have to like go to school and have like a piece of paper that says like I have peanuts in my food. Like stay away from me. And like how's that a thing? I don't know. It's insane. And all
It
this,
is.
the food's all bullshit too. Like I try to eat healthy and eat everything organic and all that, but yeah, it's crazy, man. Like can't trust any of the shit that's out there
No.
anymore.
There's a reason why they made that seed bank up in Norway with all the original seeds from different fruits and plants. And it's because like natural plants are slowly disappearing because most of the food, most of the vegetables we eat are modified, right? Genetically modified. So
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Just to all make more money, It's
yeah.
really,
Anyway, I have some stuff to give away if it's okay.
yeah, man, do your thing.
Okay, bros. So the Raccoon guys just released the new gaming platform on Osmosis. It's called Raccoon.bet, and if you haven't tried it out and you want to try it out, just either DM me your Osmo address and I'll send you some free tokens, or you can just post your Osmo address in the comment field of this space, and I'll just send it out.
Do you have not to cut you off? Do you have a tweet anywhere that I can just pin up, or if you can pin it up, so
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
click on
gonna
it?
pin up two tweets. I'm gonna pin up the launch official launch post of the platform, and then I'm gonna pin a community-driven giveaway where you can win a Mad Scientist NFT. That is given from Rama. Rama is donating it. So, and
Nice.
all you gotta do to participate is just make a transaction on the website, and you can
Yeah.
do that with the free token I sent you.
And anyone listening that's not like a Cosmos person, like a mad scientist, is pretty cool. It's like the first NFT Fi experience all in Cosmos. So like if you hold one, you might have to hold two though. I think it is, where essentially you can earn B Osmo. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bruce. Where you can earn B
That's
Osmo.
correct.
Yeah, so like that's just like a stake derivative of Osmo. So essentially, you're earning real crypto for just being a holder, which is pretty cool. And
And if you just want to dump the NFT, if you're the lucky winner, I think the floor price is almost $400. So yeah.
yeah, that's cool too. I don't dump anything. That's the thing about the NFTs with me. I should have a smarter strategy. I should just buy more than whatever I do at the beginning, and then sell one just at least cover my ass, and then it's like I got this free NFT. I need to be more smart about that. But anyways, yeah, I just
Bro,
love it.
it's difficult. I also think it's difficult to sell NFTs, right? I don't know why. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
as
the only
easy
thing
as
I'm
just
like
doing a swap.
emotional. That's like the only thing I'm emotional about in this space. Like everything else, I make my decisions not based off of emotion. It's like NFTs. I don't know what it is. Like I have like good thing they're in a wallet. Like if they were in my house, like my entire house, if they were like all digital things, I had to like sit on the ground or like a piece of, like a poster or something. I have way too many damn posters in my house because I just love love NFTs for some reason, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, man. But Fridays are good times, man. I always look forward to this because it's like kind of my somewhat decompression slash like just talk about whatever type thing. Because usually I'm like hosting an AMA and it's all more like, oh, what are you guys doing in your roadmap and blah blah blah. Not that I don't enjoy it, but it's kind of just fun, just bullshitting about whatever. Yeah, and then Blob, if you want to too, man, feel free to pin anything you guys got going on. That's all good, man. Adam, same thing. Barber.
Bro, we absolutely need just to have some fun, right? It
Yeah,
can't
I mean
be
that's what they.
take all the time.
Yeah, that's what the space. I just followed you back. I can't believe I wasn't following you. Yeah, that's what it's about, man. Like we're spending our time in here, and it's all about like having a good experience, So, and I think
Yeah.
crypto's doing a better job with it, like in general. And Bruce, like, check out. I don't know how many different wallets you've tried out in your grind. And someone's beeping. If check out the X Portal wallet. It's over on Multiverse. It's probably the best wallet in crypto.
What is the multiverse?
So it used to be Elrond, and
Yeah.
now it's called Multiverse. Their token it's Eagle, EGLD, and it's a Rust based ecosystem, and I do believe there's going to be coming soon that they're going to be essentially having interoperability with Cosmos. So that'll be cool. But no, like the Multiverse is like a really cool vibe. It's almost a chain. It does have all this stuff like the DeFi and all that, but it to me it just like gives you this gamification, gamer feel, and good vibes. And I think the wallet's like really good. It's like a social app almost, and you can easily like you have a hero tag, kind of like a gamer tag, and it's easy to like find people. You can even send messages and chat with people, and it has all the other stuff too, like the NFTs and. It's just a really clean looking good wallet. Like I think that it's kind of like a staple. And that's just me. I'm not trying to show them. It's just me being honest. Like I've used so many damn wallets in this space, at least over 30 different wallets. And I think that it's probably the best wallet that I've used. Like the only thing close that, I like all the wallets. They're all different for different causes or whatever. I really like the backpack wallet over on Solana too. Like that's the Mad Lads founders. They built this wallet. It's kind of cool. Like it's like a social app. It's almost like a social app too, where you can interact and essentially you can just play games and stuff and do things right through your wallet without even having to leave your wallet. And I'm not a real big mobile guy, but like if I were to be a mobile guy, like I think those two wallets are just basically the best mobile wallets out there because a lot of teams they kind of dropped the ball a little bit on mobile wallet experiences. Like it's like kind of shitty.
Sorry, I was just sending out some tokens to the guys. Bro, can you send me a link? Did you put it up in the nest? The multiverse?
Let me go on. Give me 1 second.
So I don't know if you went away from your microphone or.
No, I'm trying. I'm scanning
Okay.
through. I'm scanning through the Twitterverse here, trying to
Okay,
find.
just go ahead. I'll just tell people about the token if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm not gonna send people Osmo. I think there was one guy who thought it was free Osmo. It's a token called GRAC. It stands for Gaming Raccoon. And it's a utility token that's gonna be implemented futures in. There's going to be implemented features in the future where you can use it to transform Raccoon NFTs on Stargaze, and you can use. There's also going to be a pool so you can swap it for Osmo and do whatever you want with it later on. And it's also a token you get when you play with other tokens on the website in the casino. So people can just hold it if they want to and sell it on a later point. Right now, the only utility or only use of it is to play on the casino.
Here's their Twitter. I can't find one that's like just downloaded the wallet, but here's their Twitter. What kind of games do you all have on Raccoon.bet right now?
So we got a total of 9 games. We have 100-sided dice where you have to predict or you bet on a value over or under a number. And the lower you go, let's say I think it's gonna be 2, I'm gonna roll a 2 or under, and then I set it to there. Then my chance of winning is gonna be 2% chance, but I'm also gonna receive a 47x or 47 return if I guess right. So that's a 100-sided dice where you just over or under basically, and you can just set it up as you want to. Then we have a double dice game where you have to. It's 2 6-sided dice where you have to guess the exact number each dice rolled. So you have to guess the number of dice 1 and the number of dice 2, and that's a pretty hard bet. So that has like I think of 34 times return your bet. Then we have a coin flip. That's pretty simple, heads or tails. And that's like a 2x returns. That's a 50% chance of winning. Then we have the rocket game. That's probably the most generated game we got. So you gotta guess the distance of the rocket, right? And it's made up in x's. So you can go, I think it's gonna be a 1.5x, or you can go bet all the way up to 50x. And if you bet and you get a 50x, you get your money 50 times back, of course. Then there is the Wheel of Fortune. That's just a basic wheel. You spin it to win it. There are, I think it's 6 different colors, and each color has a X. And where the red color has a 0 times return, blue has 0.5 times return, and then it goes all the way up to 10 times return. Then we have a slot, just a big slot machine you play. And it has an accumulating jackpot. So for each bet that's made on the slot, it takes a tiny part of that bet and put it into the jackpot. And at some point, some lucky dude's gonna win it. And when we had it over at Juno, I think we had the largest jackpot that was won was I think $4,000 or something like that. So that was a happy day for a happy guy. And then we have then we have the Plingo. That's just a normal Plingo where you can bet up to 3 balls at a time with returns up to 15x. And then a roulette. We all know that one. And then we have the treasure hunt where you have 5 times 5 squares, so 25 squares. And then you have to bet or pick 3 squares. And depending on what pictures you get a return. So there's going to be, out of the 25 squares, there's going to be 3 diamonds. And those are like basically the key pictures or the key symbols in this game, and the highest outcome you can get here is a 40 times your money X. So that's basically the 9 games we got so far. First and only 100% on-chain gambling platform or gaming platform in the cosmos. So everything is on-chain, everything you just go look through MintScan, whatever. There's no calculations, no randomness going on a Web2 server or a centralized server. So it's very fair. The casino or the gaming platform is community owned. So if you own one or more of the Raccoon NFTs, which you can find on Stargaze, then you are basically an owner of the platform and you get a revenue share.
What's the approximate value of the floor right now for Raccoon? I haven't even checked in so
I
long.
think it's $360.
Nice. That's well. And what was the mint back in the day?
160.
Okay, so yeah, like a 2x. Nice. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's cool.
And
Yeah, you guys,
we
whoever
haven't.
did your artwork
What?
did a really good job. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh no, just go ahead with the artwork. What was that?
No, I just said they did a really good job. I have like I get really interested in people's artwork. Like because I create stuff too, hand drawn stuff. But I have a really good artist that does like tremendous job, and I always get fascinated with the artwork. I'm weird like that. I just like good artwork.
Bro, who doesn't, man? And me too, man. So what's special about the artwork on this is one of the founders, he has a master's in machine learning, and he built his own generative model for the collection. Took a lot of time, took a lot of money to train it, but they used it to make the styles. If you go and look on the collection, they have very unique styles. So I don't think you find any other NFT collection. Maybe you do, but how do you say, every style and every NFT is so significantly different from each other, even within the same style. So there are 287 styles, a total of 1,333 NFTs. They were minted on Secret and migrated to Stash. So there's only been migrated 902 of them, which means the revenue share is even greater per NFT now. So if you want to go and look in collection, you can see how different the styles are and like how unique each NFT is. And it's 2 years since they minted, and I have never sold one. And each time I go look at them, I just find new NFTs I haven't seen before, new details, and that's one of the most fascinating thing about it. I think it's the best AI collection in the space as well.
Yeah, it's really solid. So I was going to shout out some teams and some people that I see in the space. Shade Protocol, for any out there that doesn't know, it's a really good privacy by default. DEX, money markets, borrowing, lending, you want to call it, and definitely check them out. They're awesome. I've been using them. They're also on Secret. So for anyone out there that doesn't know about Secret Network, it's like privacy by default, where you can do things where the entire blockchain doesn't see it, but you can also, it has transparency where you can produce your records as well and show what you did within the Secret blockchain. So give them a check out. MarginX, they essentially sponsor these spaces, and they're awesome. They are like a meme coin playground for like perps and spot trading, and you can list as permissionless. Like you can have permissionless listings on there, which is really awesome. Purse is pretty cool. It's like a social app that you can download, like an extension for your Twitter. So like I use them, and you can just earn crypto for doing things, just using Twitter really normally, and you get these I don't know what they call them, but it goes up to 100. It's like this little ticker. Once it goes to 100, you can redeem them. And then once you get so many that are 100, they can get at least 500. You can enter into like raffles, and you can earn them by doing just like simple tasks like follow, like, retweets. You don't have to do this on different things, but when there's announcements, and I like that. I'm always about like getting action on everything I do. So it's a way to get some action on Twitter, which is pretty cool. And then I see a lot of familiar faces. So I just wanted to say thank you for for tuning in, let me rant and rave, and hopefully you got some sort of entertainment or educational value from it, because that's what I try to do. So I wouldn't be doing any of this stuff without all of you guys, man. I remember my first experience in Texas 2 years ago now. About almost 2 years to the date, almost, I think. And I was up on stage talking, and it was kind of like surreal because at the time I was just thinking, man, I'm just like some random dude that likes from accounting and finance background, and now I'm on this stage, and honestly, man, I was so nervous. There's so many people in the audience. It was so crazy. I've never been so nervous in my life, like to talk about something, right? And it's like I shouted out like just the community, because it was like if people didn't, you know, engage in doing it, it's like, what the hell would I be doing any of it for, right? It'd be kind of just super boring. And yeah, so like that was kind of surreal, and it's just awesome to be like in this space and doing something that I'm really passionate about and really enjoy. And I want to be doing this the rest of my life. And I just hope everyone has the opportunity to either remove themselves from the hamster wheel. I'm not trying to convince you to quit your job or anything. That's not my intention. But I think you could slowly but surely get into this industry one way or another. You don't need to know how to code either. And I say it all the time. I think if if you use things and you're actually like participating in this space, I don't care what chain it's on, you actually have an education in this space, and you're well more equipped to do something in this space. Like even from like a marketing perspective or business development or community moderation, all of it. So, you know, I think this space is going to keep exponentially growing. I say it like all the time. I've been just like hammering this point home lately, but people are going to need help. These new chains, these new applications or whatever, they're going to need help advising, whatever. And, they would much rather hire people that are in this space. You don't need some fancy degree from some university or whatever. If you have it, cool, but like it really doesn't matter. They would rather have people that know what the hell they're talking about in crypto, because I've helped teams like get off the ground, and like they'll fire their marketing team because like the marketing team, you know, cool, they went to school for marketing, but they don't know anything about crypto. And if you don't know anything about crypto, how can you market something? How can you talk about it? How can people relate to it? Because you don't use it yourself. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So like for me, it just makes no sense for you to like potentially at some point like kind of dabble into crypto. Just, you know, my experiences, I started off as a moderator, call it a janitor work or whatever you want to call it. But I did that, and I just kept, and don't get me wrong, it's a lot of work. You can't be lazy, but started to learn, and I just kept, I'm very competitive. So I love learning, and I like knowing new things and learning new things. So it's kind of my mindset. It's a different mindset, but adding value, if you're reliable, accountable, trustworthy, respectful, like you could definitely find some sort of work in this industry. And I'm always here too. Like people reach out to me, oh, do you know anyone that'd be interested in doing this or that or moderating, blah, blah, blah. You know, I've helped community members that I see around all the time, because like if you're listening, then I'm hoping you're learning something. And I've learned so much, I just want to share it back. So like that's me just saying it, man. Like good vibes, good weekend.
Bro, like it's funny you say it, because I started as a community member
Yeah.
2 years ago, and I entered the Raccoons Discord, talked with the team. I had some questions about like some upcoming giveaway, right? And the way they talked with me, and like I have never talked with any founder that was just so open and honest and hospitable, right? I was like, okay, these guys are fucking rare in the crypto space. So I just stuck with them, and I was like, they really are doing something different, the way they're doing it and everything. Yeah, not about that, but I stuck with them, and 2 years later, like I'm still here with them, and they trust me, and they said like, I may not have the biggest experience with business development and all that shit, but they saw qualities as with this, they found me trustworthy. So it's a huge quality in this space, just
Yeah.
to be a decent person.
Yeah, you can learn so much too, and you can learn on the go. And I need to pin some of this stuff. I just realized there's like 17 comments in the chat, so I apologize, everyone. I'm gonna start pinning some of these up, because we will be wrapping up the space soon, because I got a meeting here in like 10 minutes or whatever. But no, like in all seriousness, like I always say it to myself, like if I could do it, I feel like anyone could do it. And but again, I also see the same thing where people, they think because they're going to work like full time or you know on the computer or just sitting in your home, like you still need to be a grinder. Like you can't because like you're behind a computer or a phone or whatever, so like you only really have one reputation, and if you have a bad reputation, it's really you're not gonna be able to overcome it. So I've always tried to do everything
And you
with
gotta
passion.
be willing to work for free.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You got to willing to put your time in. Like honestly, man, I look back, it was kind of like a growth hack that I never intended because before crypto, I didn't have any social media really. I didn't do any of this stuff. I just chilled. But I did so much stuff for like the first year and a half, almost 2 years, or maybe I got a tip here and there, but it was a lot of free work. But I looked at it like a free education because the real reason I really started doing all this, it was like a Friday night and I didn't even know what Twitter Space was at the time. And some of the guys were just randomly talking. It was the Cosmos Space guys. They were just randomly talking about Cosmos and crypto and stuff. And I was listening. I was drinking a little bit, drinking some whiskey, and I was like, all right, these guys are confused on some stuff that I know. So I was like, I raised my hand and went on that space. And I don't know, man. I know most of the people that were in that space at the time now, like the OGs. There was like 7 to maybe 9 of us. I can't remember exactly how many. But anyways, that same night, and I'm not saying it was because of me or anything, but that same night, that same space went from about 7 of us to about 200 of us. And it was all the founders and people that are doing their thing in Cosmos and all these different chains. And it was all organic. It was crazy. And the space lasted for like 4 or 5 hours or whatever it was. And everyone just stopped by. We're talking about what they're doing, what they think about crypto, all this stuff. And it just motivated me. Like I was like, all right, it was a good omen. It was good energy. Like I'm just going to start producing content. And this was like around November of 21, I think it was, maybe November of 21. And then that's the first time after that was like started like putting out content because I was like, all right, this is kind of fun. It was just like a good sign. And I never thought any of this would ever do a thing. I thought I was just going to be tweeting out to outer space and that was it. But yeah, man. And if, like I said, if I could do it, you could do it. And I just want people to be free, man. Just do what you want to do with your life and not do shitty stuff. But don't just stop doing the shitty stuff because you want to go all in on crypto either. I'm not saying that, but like maybe dabble into it slowly but surely, and then maybe you build up a nest egg where you can buy yourself time. It's like, oh well, if all this went to zero, I still have like a few months to have enough money to like not be on the streets or whatever, something like that. But anyways, man, Bruce, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by, Blob. Homestead, you want to say something real quick? Let me add you up.
Freaking love Homestead, man. If you
Yeah,
don't, if
he's
you're
done.
not following Homestead, then fucking do it. Sorry for swearing, but like
I know.
he's the influencer that we all need. We don't deserve, but we need him.
Yeah, he knows everything about every NFT project when it's happening. He's like that. He's like that guy. I even consult with him. I'm like, hey man, like a ride chain, we're gonna have Talus on there soon. We're just trying to get a cool couple collections on there to get the momentum going. And we have a few already, but anyone's he knows all kind of people, so it's all good, man. What's up, Hempstead?
And he's also tending to his vegetable. Sorry.
He always does. Good.
What's up, guys? GM. Thanks for the amazing intro there. There's so many things you guys could say about the pleb, so I appreciate you going on the positive side. I'm making some jam right now, Brucey. I'm not out in the garden. We picked a bunch of strawberries yesterday, so I got a pot of jam going. Hoss, can I shill a couple of things? I heard you were shutting down soon, so if I'm too
No, yeah,
late.
go ahead, man. Show what you want, man. That's kind of what
Cool.
it's about. Spreading the
Yeah.
knowledge and information.
All right, so first one I'll do is just like shameless self-plug. If y'all want to join me later today for the Freshman Friday space, I do it every Friday at 1:45 p.m. And then Signal, Brady from Signal runs a space for artists right after. So we've got this whole setup for Stargaze Freshman Friday spaces. If y'all aren't aware, just scroll my profile, scroll Signal's profile. You'll see the links for that stuff. More people that join those spaces, the better, right? Support the artists, support the creators on Stargaze. That's what that's all about. Sweetheart, I'm on the phone. Can you wait a moment? Thank you. Second thing I wanted to mention to everybody in the audience here, I'm not sure if anybody touched on it, so you could shut me up if they did. The Gly token from the Glintar project is farming right now. If you guys minted Glintar, you'll get a Gly airdrop. But they also have this website that is connected to Stargaze. They have like a sweeper bot. They've got a DAO they're setting up, things like that. It's all connected through their NFTs. So they've got missions on their website now where you can farm the Glide token. There are missions for non-holders and missions for holders alike. So it's open to all. If you're in the Stargaze community or in the Cosmos NFT community, you want to check out an NFT that's actually building some real utility and a real usable website platform for their holders, check out Glenn. I'll try and pin something when I'm done talking. Finally, the last thing I will mention is the Punks project is coming. I've been helping them with collabs a little bit. Just keep an eye on it. It's going to be a big collection, I think. There's going to be a lot of communities represented in traits and one-of-ones. There's going to be a good amount of one-of-ones in the collection, like 25 or more. So a cool chance to mint an awesome Pixel Punk piece if you guys want. If anyone has questions about any of those things, I will take them. Otherwise, I think those are the three things I wanted to mention. Thanks, Hoss.
Yeah, man, that was awesome. You came prepared, man. It was like boom, boom, boom. That was good stuff right there. Now, what time do you do your is it like a weekly Friday space that you do?
Every Friday, it's 1:45 p.m. Eastern time. So like right now, I think that's like 5:45 UTC, if I'm not mistaken. We basically run right into when public mint opens up for like the featured projects on Stargaze. When we're not on daylight savings time, we're actually hosting the space during like public mint for Freshman Friday. But you know the U.S., we gotta be kind of screwed up with our ways still and do things our own way and stuff. So
It makes no sense. Do you know how the thing even started? By the way, daylight savings. Do you know how it originated?
the one that I've heard is that we wanted to, because we were an agrarian society, we wanted daylight hours for farming and things like that. And
Well,
so,
yes and no. Benjamin Franklin actually was the first person to do it. He was like, all right, well, he wanted to conserve energy because back then people used candles and you had to like burn through your candles. So it was like, oh, this will keep it so there's an hour less of you have to burn a candle because of light and all this stuff. And it's like, well, okay, we're 2024. I don't know anyone that has to like use candles for lighting anymore and all that shit. Like maybe we can get rid of it. It's like, it's almost like having a blanket, right? And you're like, oh, I need an extra inch on the blanket. You cut the bottom, you cut an inch off the bottom, and then you put it on the top. It's like, it's still the same length. Like, what are we doing? Like, let's just
yeah, I do remember Hoss too when they lengthened it, like, I don't know, was it like 12 years ago or 15 years ago when we got like 2 extra weeks in the spring and 2 extra weeks in the fall? They sold it on that energy thing. Like, you'll be able to turn your lights on an hour later or something like that. So yeah,
yeah,
it's super goofy. And then right after that, they made us all buy a bunch of high efficiency bulbs. Like,
yeah,
what the
exactly. But no, I forgot to mention during the space, I'm gonna be, and I don't know what's gonna come of it, but I'm gonna be coming out with a coffee token. It's gonna be people. I'm trying to figure out the airdrop, and it should be worth a little bit. So I'm gonna have a coffee with Hoss meme token, and yeah, it's gonna be all about the community. I don't know when it's gonna launch. Probably soon. Maybe after I get back from consensus. If anyone's going down, hit me up. But I'll be there next week all week. And yeah, man, all good vibes. And then oh, he didn't come up. Someone raised to come up. But yeah, I have to hop on another call. Wish I could just keep bullshitting because it's been a good time, man. It's good energy. I hope everyone has a good rest of your Friday, your morning, afternoon, night, wherever you're located at. It was really fun. Thank you, everyone that came up to the stage and spoke. Blob, man, anytime, man. I'm going to try to I don't know. Next Friday, I don't think I will be doing this space because I'll actually be working the consensus event. So the following week, for sure. You're always welcome to stop by, man. Good chat.
Definitely. I'm gonna come by and I'll touch base with you. I'll be at consensus. I'll find your booth and we'll be able to meet in person.
For
And
sure.
yeah, that'd be a nice link up. So
Yeah,
appreciate
definitely. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Hey, Bruce, have a good one and tend to your garden. I hope you're growing good vegetables right now. It's a good time of the year. So,
Bro, I need to get a garden first, man. That's the goal. I don't have one yet.
Yeah, man. I used to have one and then I got too busy and now I'm to that point where I need to get my garden back and do all that and grow tomatoes and all that stuff. But anyways, man, it's been so much fun, everyone. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Food
Cheers.
comes first.
What's that?
Block.
Food comes first. That's what my grandma always said.
Yeah,
But
man.
tomato is a fruit, brother.
Food comes first. Vegetables come first. That's what my grandma always said.
Bro,
That's
there is no scientific categorization that is called a vegetable. Like that's something some dudes just made up.
True, very true. All right, everyone, man, it's been so much fun. Take care. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks, Hoss.